Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Cocktails and Conversations with me, Deborah Ababio. Today, we're doing something a little different. No guests, no conversation. Well, a conversation with myself and some reflections on what has been an incredible first season of this podcast, for which I still can't believe is my reality. I started this podcast as I really wanted to have honest and open conversations on real life issues and topics. Those conversations that are normally kept in the group chats or shared over cocktails, and wanted to bring them to the forefront. Before we get started, let me pour myself a drink. Starting anything is never easy. I want to take a moment to say a massive thank you to all my incredible guests. Your trust and support in me and this podcast is something I will cherish forever. Also, a huge thank you to each and every one of you who has been listening, supporting, engaging, and sharing your thoughts on the conversation shared. Your feedback, messages, and even the casual Instagram DM means the world to me. So whether you're sipping a cocktail or a mocktail, settle back as we look back on some of the incredible and powerful conversations from season 1.
You know, she just said, you need to lose weight. You're too old, you're too this. And I really wanted to rush back and find her and say, no, it's a bit petty like that. No,
I could be petty too, I get it, I'll do the same.
The thing is, this is a safe space. I don't have a lot of support, and I don't have as I mentioned earlier, parents. Mm-hmm. My friends had kids earlier. Their lives are different from mine. I said, no, I'm sorry, I'm not having that.
Yeah.
Why should my child have to be resistant to this? We have to break that cycle. They need the soft life.
We deserve
the soft life, right? But it's a generational thing, but it stops with us.
Yes.
We've got no excuse now.
We've got tools, we've got information.
Reset button.
If God granted me one wish, I would ask him to give me a reset button. It's like you said, having that discernment of who is actually a friend where you can be like, hey, I'm in a bind and I really need your help, versus
exactly.
It's a transactional.
Always transactional.
How do you navigate new friendships?
Mm-hmm. I think with new friendships now, it's about just approaching them just with fresh energy, not bringing in kind of old relationships, I think, or friendships into this new thing that you're kind of starting or navigating. I think with the old friendships or previous friendships, maybe there are things that you've kind of learnt and you've evolved as a person. But I think it's about just going into it fresh, not judging this person based on what's happened to you in the past.
I'm like, if that's how I am, that's how we should move. And if I notice people aren't moving that way around me, again, the retraction has to be swift. Because, like you said, you're a people pleaser at times.
Yep.
I have that quality. I think it's really great to have it. It's bad when it's applied to people who are undeserving of that energy. And also when you consider yourself a part of the people who are undeserving of that energy.
I know, but it hurts so much.
It hurts. It hurts
so much.
I'm a social architect of my environment, right? Even with my family, and my family know this about me, right? If you aren't conducive to the environment that's going to allow me to thrive and therefore you to thrive, I'm removing you. Without question.
Even with family?
With family.
Wow.
Lord knows.
Wow.
There's a lot of them who know. Yeah? And the reason that is because my loyalty, and this comes across however people who've had traumatic experience will know what I'm talking about, like, I'm not loyal to my blood. Because my blood isn't loyal to me.
Like you're always gonna want more, and I always say there's no shame in wanting more. I'm ambitious, and people try to put me down for it, and I'm like, no. There's no shame. I am ambitious, and that's what I'm gonna do. If you wake up and you don't want to send that email as a country, you don't have to send it. Yeah. But then that means there's no money coming in. So, but it's all on you. It's those decisions. Some days I'm just waking up like, girl.
Yeah, child, I can't.
Girl, today drains me. Look at Beyonce. She went on the tour and she's going on the tour again. Like come on now.
Yeah.
Like you think the girl will want to sit down, but she's hustling.
Nowadays, I get so ungrateful for things that I've prayed for.
One of the biggest topics of this season was about redefining life over 40. This topic is so personal to me because let's be real. Society loves to put expiration dates on success, beauty, and personal growth. But the truth, it's such a blessing to see your 40s. And honestly, life is just beginning in so many ways when you reach your 40s. We had the incredible Sophia Cook sharing her journey of meeting her partner and becoming a mum in her 40s. And honestly, whether it's a career pivot, personal reinvention, motherhood at a later stage, or embracing new passions, one major takeaway was it's never too late. I just want to say, February born are just special. Just saying, disclaimer. Ooh.
You realise in your 40s, for me anyway, that you have to actually start unlearning things. For me, I think the momentum of all that came by becoming a parent at 40. It wasn't on my radar. I was married at 29 and then divorced quite quickly. Sorry. Kind of knew what I didn't want in terms of relationship. And then all of a sudden I found myself being pregnant, and whereby a lot of my friends at their 30s were getting married and having kids. I was getting divorced and I was partying and I was trying to refine myself.
Guys, can we just pause for a minute? Sophia said she put an ad in the classifieds. That's just wow.
Yeah, so I met him. It was quicker than a Craig David song.
Wow. Not for a new dream, not for a new adventure, and definitely not for rediscovering yourself. For me, stepping into this phase of my life has been about shedding old expectations and fully embracing my evolution. If you're in a place where you're questioning what's next, let this be a reminder: the best chapters of your story is still ahead. Our second episode was all about navigating adult friendships. Friendships evolve, and navigating them as an adult is no joke. Between busy schedules, family commitments, and personal growth, it can be hard to maintain strong friendships. In this episode with the fabulous Mikey Abagunde, we discussed and unpacked what it means to cultivate meaningful connections. One key insight: quality over quantity. You in particular have such fabulous friendship groups, and sometimes I'm a little bit envious of it. So I need you to tell me the tricks.
You're in there as well anyway. You're part you're part of the friendship group. I do have amazing friends and amazing friendships. And I do think from the outside it might seem, I mean, you look at it and you think, okay, this person is kind of handling these friendships. Like, maybe not well, because I would say I handle them well, or as well as I can do, but maybe easily.
What do you think about friends versus like associates? How do you navigate who's who?
Yeah.
You know, because everyone wants to be your friend.
Right.
Everyone wants to be like Kiki.
Most of the time, like 8, 9, whatever times out of 10, we know who are our people and who show up for us and who are genuine, who have our backs. I think there are certain things or life experiences or situations that help us to kind of see it.
It's all about intentionality, showing up, open communication, and recognizing when friendships is truly reciprocal. If you've been thinking about someone you haven't spoken to in a while, take this as your sign to reach out. A simple message, a check-in, sometimes that's all it takes to nurture a connection that means a lot to you. Now let's talk about mindset and manifestation. In this episode, we had some of the most in-depth conversations and reflections with the incredible poet Lionheart. But one thing I really want to highlight was balance between belief and action. Manifestation isn't just about wishing upon a star. It's about aligning your energy with your efforts. A great moment from this episode was hearing how it took Lionheart 8 years to evolve into the individual he wanted to be. You know, telling yourself it's possible, even if you don't believe it.
Just tell yourself.
Even if you don't
because you
even
can
know.
then believe it later on. Like,
Yeah.
and this is probably like the fallacy we teach ourselves, that everything has to be instantaneous. Like, I know it took me 8 years. And I was conscious at the end of the 8 years that I'm no longer the same person I was. But it is keeping the promises to yourself. Because most of the time we'll say, I'm going to be this. And then tomorrow comes and you're like, don't really feel like it. But you know you have to leave some people behind.
But this
I don't know what accent that was, by the way, but like, you know at some point.
But this is what I'm saying. When do you know when to leave them behind? When do you know when to say it's enough? You've done all you can. You've done everything that you, as a friend, as a family member, as a colleague, whoever you are to them, you've done all you can. When is that point where you say, okay? And how small mindset shifts led to major life transformations. I want to leave you with this simple challenge. This week, try one mindset shift. Maybe it's replacing self-doubt with self-affirmation. Maybe it's seeing opportunities instead of obstacles. Whatever it is, commit to it, and see what changes. Episode 4's conversation was around the balancing act of navigating our careers and working life, whether you're in corporate or navigating your entrepreneurship journey. The entrepreneurship was an accident. It's not like I wanted to run my own business, but I kind of was given no choice. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody, so please don't feel free that you have to jump ship and build it. And I always say, to revert back, I always feel like sometimes in this day and age, everyone wants to be an entrepreneur.
So hard living paycheck to paycheck, but listen, living invoice to invoice.
Well, you think that's
It's
better?
not for the
It's
faint-hearted,
not at
yeah.
all.
It's really, you just don't know. You're just
It comes
like,
with its
Yeah,
own
and there's not
challenge.
much
Like,
you can do. I think people
just
think,
can't- yeah.
oh, can't you get them to do this?
no.
Like, we tried it all. There's not
Right?
much you can do. But if it's paycheck to paycheck, if they don't pay you on time, you can sue that. There's certain things you can do. You know, there's some security.
But
and
even to sue,
structure
you
there.
need money.
Right?
It's true.
And where's the money to? It's that. It's like, I think there's a glamorization of what working for yourself and
Yes.
entrepreneurship looks like.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But no one really
We
prepares
need to
you for the
de-glamorize it. Like, I think that's probably
loneliness. There is a lot of loneliness
That's
in
it.
there. You are doing it.
Self-doubt.
It's the self-doubt. A major theme throughout this episode was taking charge of your own journey, because every day is a hustle to grow and evolve and to create the life you deserve. My guests, Vanessa and Ruby, took bold risk, left comfort behind, and built something meaningful from scratch. Let me tell you, the common thread was resilience. Imposter syndrome, fear of failure, self-doubt, all normal. But the key is pushing forward anyway. You are capable, you are worthy, and there is space for you at the table. Episode 5 was an exciting conversation, bringing 2 different perspectives from Tony and Zizi. Modern dating is an experience, to say the least, and especially as a Black woman navigating this space. Also, being single in your 40s comes with its own unique challenges. Society's expectations, the infamous single person tax, and managing loneliness. But it's also a time for growth, self-discovery, and living fully in your own terms. Relationships, whether romantic or platonic, should add value to your life and not define your worth. If you're single, embrace it. Build a life you love so that when the right person comes along, they are adding to an already fulfilling existence. As we're in 2025, looking at the year ahead, just really thinking about, are we just going to be a nation of single women? Like, is this our future?
Yeah, I mean, people are going to die alone.
No.
The men that we come across in the spaces that we are, I genuinely feel that they probably look at women like us and are like, no.
In our generation, we were brought up to be very like, you need to be the best in class, you need to like hustle for your career, you need to do all these things. So what happens is that you kind of almost, I mean, I spent like 10 years hustling, you know, and then it's like you get to the end like, oh, I've got an accolade. Now it's like, oh, wait, love. Whereas I feel like the generation now is like, you're being taught to understand you need to prioritize love at the same time as career.
It's been a wonderful season. And just like that, it's a wrap on our first season of Cocktails and Conversations. It's been an absolute joy sharing these stories and insights and conversations with you. Is this the end, you ask? Well, let me be the first to tell you season 2 is already being mixed, shaken, and stirred. Do you like what I did there? So, it's going to be even better with great conversations and incredible guests, but I won't spill too much just yet. Just stay tuned for our comeback announcement. In the meantime, I would love to hear from you. What were your favorite moments of season 1? What resonated the most with you? What conversations and topics do you want to hear about? Let's keep the conversations going. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Also, follow us on social media and share this podcast with your community. It really means a lot. If you know me by now, you know I love a good quote, and I'd like to leave you with this one. Growth is a lifelong journey. The best thing you can do is keep evolving, keep believing, and keep showing up for yourself. Until next time, cheers.